This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
All right, everybody, welcome to the new 2027 Nissan Z Nismo. Now, this car has a bunch of changes over the 2026 model year Nismo, starting with the biggest, the manual transmission. Now, this is a slightly different manual transmission than the standard car. The throws are 5 to 6 millimeters shorter, and it's designed to be notchier. It's also got a beefed up pressure plate to be a little bit stronger because this car makes about 20 more horsepower than the standard Nissan Z at 420 horsepower. Now, I'm obviously not a race car driver. Pretty good clarinetist, if that helps my case, but I'm still gonna do my best out here at Sonoma Raceway to tell you what this car is like to drive, because there are some other big changes, including the brakes, which are pulled mostly from the R35 Nissan GTR. Supposed to improve stopping distance a lot. Now, we just did a bunch of laps in the standard Z Performance, so jumping into the Nismo, I'm gonna be curious to see if you can really feel those differences out on the track. Opening lap in the Nissan Z Nismo. Oh boy! So this is the top dog in the Z lineup, and there are some big changes over the standard car. First of all, the power, 420 horsepower versus 400 in the normal car. And for 2027, this car now has the brakes from the R35 Nissan GTR. Now, we're out here at Sonoma Raceway in California. It's pretty wet. It's actually quite wet out here. We got a lot of rain last night. So my first goal is to keep this car out of the wall, because I will not be the idiot that gets their face tweeted around the world for putting a brand new 2027 Nissan Z into the wall. My second goal is to experience the car. My third goal, is to have fun, because this is a really good day at work. Now let's talk about some of the changes over the standard Z. Now, earlier this morning, I had a chance to drive the 26 Z Performance around Sonoma, and there are some noticeable differences just hopping in to the Nismo. For example, these seats, this one-piece bucket is doing such a better job of holding me in place than the standard seat did. And you know, what's great about these buckets is it's not like the BMW carbon buckets with the ball grabber that really penalizes you for spending any time in them, except for on the track. These seats are comfortable outside of a racetrack environment as well, and they're fairly adjustable, so you can really set it up for a variety of heights and weights, and I think you'd be fine. Now, coming out of turn 6 in the Z, tires are still a little cold, so doing my best to stay within the limits of grip, and then onto the drag strip down to 7, releasing that twin turbo V6, that's 90 miles an hour. There's 100, there's 105 already. So the power out of this engine is immense, but I think even more importantly, the torque delivery is simply everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are in the rev range. You know, I'm doing this whole track in 4th gear because it's pretty wet, and let's be honest, no one's comparing me to Max Verstappen, but I mean, even at 2,800, 3,000 RPM, you build onto that pedal and you get a wave of turbo boost absolutely everywhere. This engine rewards, I mean, pretty much every RPM. It's awake and ready to go. The back here is super wet, so luckily it's the most dangerous part as well. And onto the brakes. Oh, these brakes are incredible.
I'm taking weird lines, so I'm trying to get my tires in that dry stuff.
There's our instructor. He's saying that he's trying to keep the tires in the dry, so he's taking some pretty odd lines, building onto that power. Once again, 2,900 RPM, 4,000 RPM, 4,500, you know, up to 5,000. Red line is 7. The engine audibly is not nearly as interesting as I think some of this vehicle's competition. Like, you get this next to an M2 or a Supra, and those inline 6s, they've got a little bit of a howl that the V6s don't have with the twin turbos, but it is giving me enough feedback to let me know where it's at in the RPM range, and remarkably responsive. Now, this suspension on this Nismo is perfect for I think how a lot of folks would use this car. It works on a track, but it's compliant. You know, it doesn't fight you. It doesn't fight the bumps and imperfections in the road. It works with the bumps and imperfections in the road. Pretty good grip here. Getting some heat in those tires. Into 6, onto the brakes. The guy in front of me, who I just passed, is a much better driver than I am. I don't claim to be the best driver, but I am doing my best to at least keep up with the instructor on some of these faster bits on the track. The steering is remarkably good, really, really good. So the Nismo has different dampening characteristics than the standard car, and they've retuned the steering as well to match that balance that the dampers provide. And through these high-speed S's, the stability is very impressive. Try to keep it in the dry here. There we go. God, the power is just unreal. There's so much of it. Everywhere you look, there's power. Yeah, the steering is also remarkably communicative. I mean, it's willing to tell you what the front wheels are doing, and it's willing to dance with you too. You know, if right now I've got all the traction aids on in the sport mode, but even with the traction on, the car will let you move around a little bit on the track, which is kind of a cool experience. So you can get just a little bit sideways, just enough to have some fun, but not so sideways where you feel like, you know, you're in danger of really making an expensive mistake. I really love all the elevation on this track. It makes it such a fun experience. Onto the power. It's so linear, the driving experience in this car too. You know, even like a novice like me, this is a relatively easy car to drive, and it gives you confidence that I feel like a lot of cars won't. You know, for example, like a C8 Corvette, I've done some track driving in, and that's a beast, but it's just so much car, and it can get a little twitchy on the edge, where this car feels very linear all throughout. Oh, those Z brakes are awesome, into the ABS. That's one of the big changes I'm noticing, is there's a huge difference in the braking performance between the Nismo and the standard car. And I think a lot of that, you know, is of course down to those huge front brakes and of course tires. We've got a much grippier tire on this, and now as we're starting to get some heat in them, they are starting to really feel good. We're following the performance here with the pro driver who really knows what he's doing. Taking some funny lines here, he's right. Ooh, he got it a little sideways there.
And no matter which car or truck you have, if you plan on keeping it for a longer period of time, you should check out GrangerWarranty.com. Use the link in the description below. Granger Warranty is one of the best sellers of factory-backed extended warranties across the country, and you could save some money while doing it, about $1,000 on average. And you don't have to buy it immediately when you buy a brand new vehicle. You could wait a little bit and then get that warranty. And when your truck needs service, you can be sure that they're using certified components, OEM quality stuff, and the work is done at a certified facility or a dealership anywhere across the country.
Let's try the shifter, because that's the big news for the Nismo, is you can now get it with a manual transmission. And I do have to say, it does feel better than the standard Z shifter. It is noticeably shorter, and the response time, the notchiness out of it also feels better for track work. I've got the auto rev matching on there, which is nice in a track setting as well, because it means that it's just one less thing I have to think about. But this is the way you're supposed to interact with a performance Nissan, right? This car is all about experience. It's not necessarily about the lap times, because if you wanted the ultimate lap times, I'm sure that the 9-speed automatic would deliver those. But if you're in it for the experience, which you should be, in my opinion, in a Z car, then the manual is definitely the way to go. Grip, 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 grip through 6. of the power. There's 95, there's 100 miles an hour, and onto the brakes, using those big R35 front brakes. Finding the limit of the track there. Track is starting to dry out a little though, which is really nice. Oh, this car is so fun. This has got to be the most underrated car of 2026. You know, the capability that this car offers for not only daily driving, but track use, people just don't give this car the respect it deserves. You know, they compare it to the Mustang and they compare it to the Supra, and I get that, but this car is a unique character. It's more playful than a Mustang, and let's be real, it's more usable than a Supra as well. This is a car that you could comfortably daily drive and fit in if you're a taller driver and see out of, which I don't think you necessarily can in the Toyota, you know, unless you're a rather shorter individual. Like, for example, I'm not that tall, I'm only 6 feet, but that thing is a little bit like driving a cave. And yeah, I think that engine does deliver more character, but for an everyday car, which is how you're going to use this thing 99.9% of the time, this Nismo is just, it's more livable. Definitely smelling quite a bit of brake here, but this car was designed to run. One of the validation cycles they do is Button Willow Raceway and 95-degree ambient temperature for 30 minutes all out. That's quite a lot of requirement on any car, and they want to make sure that this Nismo will put up with the track abuse, which it for sure is doing out here. Wow, the grip levels are so impressive. Building onto the throttle, 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 110. Hard onto the brakes. Oh yeah, getting a little bit of rotation, trying to be smooth on the throttle because this car will blow the rears out really at any moment if you want it to. Even at 50, 60 miles an hour, it is possible to overwhelm that LSD. That LSD is doing exactly what it needs to do. We are finding the limits here of the grip in this car, but like I said, even at the limit, I still feel so in control. And you can do this, have traction on, and the car isn't fighting you. You know, it's letting you slide around a little bit. It's not killing the fun. Hard on the brakes. On the apex, back on the throttle. Yeah, and the temperatures, I mean, they are rock steady. It is a pretty cold day out there. And of course, as I keep mentioning, I'm not Max Verstappen, but even still, it is able to maintain these temps. I mean, it's not even up to the halfway point on the engine oil or the water temp here. It's right where I need it to be. Guys, this is a great car. There's a lot to love about this Z Nismo. We don't know pricing for the 2027 model year, but the manual transmission has transformed this experience. Sure, if you want the ultimate in track car, the automatic is probably still the way to go. But if you're in it for the process and the experience, that's where the stick comes in, and it is such a good stick. I think from a feel standpoint in the Nismo car, it's right in line with the Supra, for sure. I mean, it's that responsive, that direct, and it's got that notchiness that you need and come to expect. So very, very, very much of a fan of this car. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Huge thank you to Nissan for flying me out here and allowing me to experience this car. And on the track, after driving the performance of the Nismo back to back, this is the one you want.